Hi all, welcome back to Soccerspective individual training. Today's video is focused on a technical session for wingers and forwards. I'll be going over a number of drills I do as I'm a winger. So I always start every session with a warm-up. I always do like a lap or two, I do dynamics, and then I do something like this where I try to juggle the ball. And as you guys can see, I'm using a small ball, which is harder to do. Then I proceeded to do a few jumps where I'm just getting my fast switch muscles warmed up for what's coming next. And we're starting off this session with shooting. I'm focusing here on low driven shots, and I'm driving at this cone, and then I do a quick touch, and then I just try to hit the ball high so that it goes low. So you want to put your foot, you want to shoot it right in the middle of the ball, and that will make it like skip a little bit off the ground. And then here we're gonna do left foot because we are complete players and we do both sides. And same thing, we try to aim at the middle of the ball so that it travels low. Here we have a receive to turn and finish, and I'm using a wall here, and I'm not getting the perfect rebounds that I like, but I'm doing the best I can. I receive the ball, I check my shoulder, and then I take a quick touch and I shoot. This is trying to imitate scenarios in the game where your midfielder will play you the ball and you'll just have to take a touch and shoot. So as you guys can see, I'm just trying to do it in the least amount of touches as possible, but trying to get my shot right. And again, you guys can see I check my shoulder one time here, I take my touch. And as you guys can see, not all my reps are perfect, but that's normal because in the game, you don't score every shot you take. So, and we're tweaking these things here in training. We're learning how to get better. Here we have something very similar, but we're receiving, we're turning, we're dribbling, and we're finishing, which are all things that a winger and an attacker will do. So the goal of the receiving, turning, dribbling, and finishing drill is to replicate scenarios that I or you will find yourself as either a 7, an 11, or a 9, where you'll have to receive with somebody in your back, then you'll have to turn, then you'll dribble, and then if you're a good striker, you're expected to finish these opportunities. You don't get many of those in the game, but when you do, when you have to dribble, you have to turn, you have to shoot, you will finish them if you do this right. As you guys can see, everything is in the details. Even before I get the ball, I check my shoulder one more time because it creates the habit so that when I'm playing, I naturally check. As a winger, one of the things that you are expected to be is be very aggressive on the ball and fearless when taking risk. And that means, having flair in your game. And, not always you'll be able to hit it bottom low. Sometimes you'll have to chip the goalie. Sometimes you have to use your toe poke. So whatever that is, use all your resources as a player. The more skills you have, the more tools you have in your skill set. Wingers in the world are great at crossing the ball, and then they can find their teammate on the run, in the air, or on the floor. So as a winger, you should train your crosses, whether that is on the right side or wingers and outside backs are both expected to be able to dribble somebody down the flank, but get that cross in the air and on the ground. So here with this drill, we're just doing a cone weave, and then we're crossing it on the ground and in the air. And like I said before, we always have to do both sides. So as you guys can see, I'm just weaving through the cones. And something to note here is that once I dribble past the cones, I take a touch, right? And then I do a looping run so that I'm able to get a cross in. And to conclude our technical session, I always like to do a little fitness. And there's nothing better than incorporating fitness into your technical session. So I found this Romario drill where I observed Romario doing this during a national team camp, and he will set up 5 soccer balls, and then he will sprint to the cone and shoot. And I felt like this will help a lot of young players and wingers to push their fitness levels. Again, guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.